Hello, all. Happy Friday. This is Cena Win, and we are here live on Cena Win Live with the legendary lending Lisa here. So glad to have you here. Notice a little bit different in the background. We actually have a guest in studio. So, yay! Super excited to have you here. So, I think you guys heard, right? Who's down with DPA or OPP?
I am.
Whatever it was, right? Are you down with that? Tell me, what is
my
DPA?
goodness. Oh my gosh, down payment assistance, guys. I mean, my heart goes out to all of the first time buyers. I have several clients, but as a first time home buyer ourselves, several years ago, we always have this soft spot for first time buyers, and any program that's out there, not every lender can do that. We have to be certified, and our company has to be certified as well. So this is a perfect opportunity. And this new down payment assistance gives up to 20% assistance. This is unheard of. And there's so much talk going about it. And I want to really clear up the air because it's like, first of all, guys, the actual handbook is not coming out. I called them and spoke to them 4 times already, which, by the way, if you want to call them, there's a long line. Takes me 45 minutes at least each time to be on the phone with them. Wow. And I think they know me now because they're kind of annoyed because I keep asking questions because I keep hearing everybody else saying so many things. Like, no, I don't really think it's that way, but okay, let's go ahead and check it out. So here today, guys, I'm here to give you the 411 on the true scoop of what this program is looking at. And there's a couple questions I asked them. So I share with you what I've actually already asked them, and we'll go from there. Okay?
Well, that's a handful already, right? First off, let the viewers know a little bit more about you, Lisa, and everything. So how long have you been in lending now?
Oh man, over 12 years already. I came into the business in banking actually in 2006. I started out as a personal banker, and I decided that lending was where I felt like I can help people really manage their finances a little bit better, and having that real estate vehicle with it, okay, makes a big difference. Now, we bought our first home before I actually was in this industry, and I wish my loan officer at that time would have told me if there were any programs that's available. Now, you don't have to use this program. For everybody out there, you don't have to use it. I want to share with you the pros and cons, okay? But if it works for you, absolutely, this is the ticket for you to get into the game, okay? You guys all remember that Monopoly board where sometimes you're not able to buy Boardwalk yet. That doesn't mean you're not going to win the game. It just means you got to start off at a lower starting point, and that's totally fine. Work your way up and get all of your real estate wealth building from there.
All right. So let's dive right into this, okay? So typically, what do most borrowers do first?
Well, most borrowers go into an open house, or they look online and they fill something out online, and it gives them this false pretense that, okay, I can or can't do this, right? But when you really are looking to buy, you got to see what's truly in your wallet first, which means getting that pre-qualification letter. And that pre-qualification is based on 3 things: your credit, your income, and your assets. I call it your CIA. So really, you got to really open that up, talk to your lender about that and everything, so that you can see what the true monthly cost is, what your true closing costs are. And we'll go over that in a little bit as well. I'd love to share with you the actual chart. So guys, I actually created a chart to specifically talk about this program. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, definitely put it in the comments, and we'll try to address it as best that we can for today.
Okay, so definitely we're live here. Make sure that you go and place it in comments. Any questions that you do have for Lisa or myself, please let us know. I think most people know the most common type of loans are conventional loans and FHA loans, right?
Yeah.
Those are the 2 most common. So how does DPA play a part in this?
So this down payment assistance is actually a conventional loan. So in either type of loans, or even the other types of loan that we have, there are certain guidelines that you do have to abide by. So it would take me several hours to go over all of that with you guys. Don't worry about that, okay? You're not here to memorize all those guidelines. That's what you got me for and your lenders for. So this one is a conventional loan, okay? So it's a conventional loan tied to a down payment assistance program. So technically, whatever bank that you're going with to get this program, that's the main loan, okay? And the down payment assistance will give you the additional up to 20%, you guys, okay? Prior to this, The maximum was 3.5%. So this is huge.
That's what I was going to ask you too. With this new down payment assistance, what's the difference between this one and previous ones?
Well, that's
out there.
That's it. That's the biggest part. Where it's like instead of just the maximum 3.5%, you're getting up to 20%. See, so don't you wish we were first-time buyers?
Wait. You're saying someone is going to help me with my down payment of up to 20%?
Yep.
Up to 20%.
Yep.
So you meaning like a $500,000 home right now, they can give me $100,000? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Let me know. I want to be a first-time home buyer. What do I need to do to qualify for this?
All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and delve into that a little bit more. So I want to go over the program with you if it's okay at this time.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and go actually on their website. Okay, guys? Okay, so we're going to share the screen.
Go ahead and present the screen first. Okay, and then you go on to there. Okay.
All right. So I'm hoping everybody is able to see the screen. So guys, you can go on and do your homework yourself too. I'm going to share it with you guys right here. This is the website, okay? And if you go into the bulletin board, okay, right here, the program bulletin, this is where you get all of this information for now. Again, this is all we have for now. The actual handbook won't come out until the 27th. Okay, see, how do I make this a little bit bigger just to make sure that the viewers are able to see it? Well, thank you.
Does that help?
Absolutely.
So when does this program start again?
March 27th, so only 10 days. Doesn't mean you don't want to get qualified right now. The line's going to be pretty long, okay, guys? So I would highly recommend for you to go ahead and get pre-qualified first to see what your payments are and what you can expect first. And then if this program works for you, great. If it doesn't, then we'll put you into another program that works better for you. Okay?
So I can imagine when March 27th comes around, people are going to be lining up like crazy to get this program, right? Yep. So if you're trying to go in on Monday, March 27th and trying to sign up for it, you might be too late, right?
I would never say that. It's never too late, guys. Too late. It's never too late. But again,
to be prepared.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's always good to be more prepared. Okay,
so
guys?
Definitely talk to your lender. Reach out to Lisa or your preferred lender. Yeah. Lisa obviously is my preferred lender. She's absolutely amazing, extremely knowledgeable. She knows the in and outs of this. But tell me more about this program.
Okay. All right, guys. So this is called the Cal HAFA Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan. And there's a reason why it's called that. So let me share with you what this is all about. Okay. So again, it gives you up to 20% of the sales price or the appraised value. What this means, guys, is sometimes when you buy a house, let's say it is you buy it for $500,000, but it's only worth $490,000. So they're only going to give you up to 20% of the value, whichever is less. Okay. All right. So here's the cool part. In Sacramento, we are such a hub for this program because the income limit is wonderful. So I'm going to open this for you guys here. Okay. Look at the income limit for Placer County.
This program is so fire. You can hear a fire truck from the back. It's amazing. So there's an income limit, right?
Correct.
And we're at Sacramento, obviously, in this area, but it applies for all of California for most part.
Correct.
But what is it here?
Right here, I'm showing it to you right now. See, in Placer County, it's $202,000. In Sacramento County, that's $202,000. So any one of you guys that have an income of less than $202,000, you're income qualified.
Wow, that'd be quite a bit.
It is absolutely quite a bit.
I've seen previous programs that were very limited.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Amazing.
Okay. All right. So let me go back to that website. Just a moment here. Okay. So on top of that, guys, okay, on top of you being able to utilize this 20%, you can actually bring in 30% of your own income. You don't have to, but say for instance, you want your monthly payments to be lower, you can absolutely do so. And I created a spreadsheet specifically for this program, so I'm going to show you how that looks like later, okay? It cannot be combined with Cal Plus, Zip, or My Home. Cal Plus, Zip, My Home, these are the other down payment assistance program that helps you with a maximum of 3.5%, or actually, yeah, 3.5% of the down payment, okay, plus 3% of the closing costs. So in combination, the max you can get is 6.5%. So this is what I'm going to share with you guys. Do not step over dollars to pick up pennies. If you're foregoing that 6.5% and you're getting 20%, guys, it's still a steal. Okay. So the way that the appreciation works is this. So the homeowner pays back the original loan. So I'm going to stop right there. Okay, guys. If you're purchasing a home for $500,000, okay, your first loan is going to be $400,000, regardless of you using the down payment assistance program or your own 20%. Okay,
that makes sense.
All right. So let's say 5 years later, you decide that you want to sell this house, and at this time, let's assume that it's worth $640,000. So in those 5 years, your home has appreciated by $140,000. Because $640,000 minus $500,000, you see that $140,000 right here.
Got it.
Wonderful. So think of this program when it says shared appreciation. It's kind of like a pay it forward type of program. If you guys remember, the last down payment assistance was the equity forgivable. It was great and everything, guys. It was much more limited than this one, and it lasted for about 7 months. The reason being is because it was forgivable, there's no money pumping back in. This is kind of like that pay it forward type of mentality where, hey, if the bank's scratching your back and giving you an opportunity to be a home buyer in this market, in turn, they're asking you to share only 20%. You're still keeping 80%, guys, okay? They're asking you to share 20% of that appreciation so that you can go forth and help somebody else that's in the same situation as you are right now. Is that fair?
That makes sense. That's actually is very fair. So they're giving me, let's say in this scenario, $100,000, and the appreciation of the home went up, $140,000. So they're just asking for 20%, so that way they can continue to fund programs like these and pay it forward.
So you're kind of doing a good deed at the same time, I would like to think. Okay, so a lot of times people get bent on, I was like, well, it seems like they're asking for too much. What's the catch, right? So I'm going to do a true breakdown for you guys to see this. See, can I go ahead and share?
Sure.
The spreadsheet.
Got to take care of that for you.
All right.
I'll make this one a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And viewers, if you're watching, let us know if you can see these numbers. We can try to make it a little bit bigger or anything like that for you too.
Okay. So I did 2 columns for you guys. And the first column is for that Dream for All program. And then what happens if you're doing a regular program, so that you can see side by side what that looks like, okay? So using the same example as the flyer on CalHFA website, it's a $500,000 purchase price. Again, the loan amount is going to be 40% because the down payment assistance is that $100,000 right here.
The loan amount is $400,000, right?
Correct. The loan amount is $400,000, okay? And the assistance is $100,000. So right now, guys, they have not discussed what the interest rate is going to be, okay? In previous years, prior to them bringing it back after COVID, in previous years, the interest rates typically half a point to a point higher on interest rates, and it changes every so often. Right now, the other CalHFA programs are pretty much the same interest rate. So I'm going to keep it at the same. Interest rate actually kind of went down today, but I want to share with you what it's been on average in the last 2 weeks so that we're a little bit more realistic because it might come back anyway, okay? So your monthly payment with principal and interest, property tax, and home insurance comes out to be $32.48.55. Pretty doable.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, pretty doable. So in this program, the closing cost is going to be higher. You're going to see roughly about a 2% origination cost on it. Okay, so think of it this way. So, I mean, right now, you're getting 0% down and everything like that. Basically, that's what it is, right? You're putting 0 down payment. They're helping you. This program is helping you with that 20%. So this is your part of skin in the game. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
So 2% of the price of the home or 2% of the loan?
2% of the loan amount. So 2% of $400,000 is $8,000.
Okay.
All right.
Sense.
Okay. So the closing costs, guys, I cushion it and everything. These are all the list of that. Reach out to me if you have any questions on that. But I'm going to move forward with the full amount of the closing cost, roughly around a little over $19,000. In this program, if you're putting it yourself, you don't have to worry about that origination cost up front. So it's less. Okay. So here's the pros and cons. In this program, you're bringing a little over $19,000. If you're bringing in your own money, it's a little over $111,000.
Wow. That's a
big difference.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons. So using the exact same example, you're keeping this home held for 5 years. Okay, guys, and you're selling it for $640.
Make it a little bit bigger for you.
Okay. You're selling it for $640. Same example. This is the original price that you bought it for. This is the equity that's built, or that appreciation that we're talking about. And even though the loan started out at $400,000, guys, in 5 years, you would have paid it down to $376 and $18.99. Okay. I call this 3 loans in one. So this is that second loan payoff, that down payment that they initially helped you with. Okay. That's that $100,000 right there. Okay. The 20%, again, I call this kind of like a third loan because this is the equity share payoff. 20% of that 140 is that 28,000. It's right here. Okay. When you sell your house, typically the agent fees are 6%. Okay. And closing costs roughly about 5,000. So the net proceeds is a little over 92,000. So you think about it, guys, you're putting a little over 19,000. Your profit in 5 years percentage is over 383%, and you're profiting over 73,000. So I don't know about you guys, but to me, I think it's a pretty no-brainer.
That makes sense. If I could pretty much 4 times the money that I initially put out, and in about 5 years get that back. Wow.
That's pretty darn good, right? So guys,
that's solid.
Not only do we not know what the interest rate for the main loan is going to be, we also don't know if there's gonna be an interest rate. And there's so many people out there that are saying it's gonna be 0%. Okay, guys, I seriously was on the phone with them over 4 times, okay? And I tell you, they already told me they do not know just yet. It is not set in stone yet, okay? There's quite a few other questions that I asked that I'll share with you too later on. So say for instance, typically, if it's 3% like the other CalHFA programs, you're going to have to pay that back. You're still making money, guys. I wanted to share that with you guys just in case when the guidelines do change. We may do another podcast to update that on the 27th, okay, to really delve into it. But at least you guys have some sort of a ballpark so you can see, okay, does this program work for me?
So a viewer asked, is like, is there a way that you can customize this to me?
Yes, okay. Of course. Of course.
And then does everyone have this spreadsheet?
No.
No. Okay. So if you want to get a customized, mortgage quote or anything with this program, please reach out to Lisa. Her information will be at the bottom and such forth, and everything. So she can go through your scenario and see if it makes sense for you and your family.
Absolutely. So see, I'm going to share with you, if you were to regularly clear your home, what would that look like, right? Because when you sell your home, you don't have that second or that third loan to pay off, okay? Which means you're netting a lot more. So this net obviously is going to be a lot bigger than this net, okay, guys? But you did initially put in more as well, okay? And even though your profit percentage is less by a third, your profit is actually higher, which means you're actually leaving $36,000 on the table. Okay? So here's the crystal ball question that we always get asked, right? See, where, hey, well, since interest rates are rising and it's so high, yada, 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 is it still a good time to buy? So I actually did a little tidbit for you guys here. You guys
love that.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are paying roughly about $2,500 in rent, okay, which is the average rent price here in Sacramento County, that means you're paying somebody else $30,000, and in 5 years, if your landlord's loving you, this is the reason why. You just gave them $150,000, guys. Okay, instead of you gaining that back of over $73,000, you're possibly giving somebody else $150,000.
So what you're essentially saying is, doesn't matter if you're paying 3% or 10% or right now roughly about 6 or 7% on there. I'm paying 100% to my landlord.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder why he's loving me, right? If someone else is paying for my mortgage, absolutely. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. But here's the thing. Even though there is $36,000 on the table, here's what I would strategically say. Okay. And this is what we were talking about earlier. Well, what if, Lisa, we put that 20% into the program and our own money? Look at that, you guys. Look at that. Okay. Your monthly payment, if you guys are like, well, I want my monthly payment to be lower, this is absolutely the way to do that. Okay. And this makes sense where if you are currently pre-qualified right now on a regular conventional loan, okay, typically you can go up to 50% debt to income ratio. So in this situation, guys, okay, to maximize your potential, you can buy up to 530,000. Okay. This is also based on the fact that I have two people making $20 an hour. Okay. So if you're making $20 an hour, somebody else is in your household is making $20 an hour. Yeah. It does not take a whole lot to qualify for a home loan. And of course, this is contingent on the fact that you don't have any debts as well. Okay. So you look like you wanted to ask a question. So
No, I'm looking at all the potential and the abilities that we can have a lot more homeowners in Sacramento County. So instead of renting, be a homeowner. So
yep.
There was a lot of stuff. I know there's a lot of information. There's so much things that you probably can cover, and we don't have enough time for it. So I just remind you guys, your schedule is pre-booked at the moment, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing so many applications, but we have until 4 o'clock, so we're okay.
Okay. So we definitely have time, for that. And if you want to ask any specific questions, please let us know. Fill in the chat. And then you mentioned, what's a DTI?
So DTI is debt to income ratio. Okay, guys. So what that means is your top debt to income ratio is based on your mortgage divided by your income. So in this situation, the combined income is almost $7,000. Your monthly payment is this. So a lot of you guys are, looking for homes. If you're discouraged, please don't be. If you're looking at your price range, it's like, oh my gosh, I cannot find anything that I like. Well, this program might be able to help. Okay. Here's the thing too, guys. They have not really determined what the true debt to income ratio is going to be. But again, I'm following regular Cal HAFA. If your credit score is above 700, then you can go up to 50%. If your credit score is between 640 and above, it will be 45% debt to income ratio. So what that means is if you're only able to qualify for 550 based on these numbers and everything like that, let's see. Oops, sorry. Let's go back. We can go up to 650. Okay, look at that, guys. We have wiggle room, and from 530 to 650, it is a huge difference, don't you think? And if you did that, okay, and let's just say you put in that your own 20%, okay, guys, this is the comparison. The monthly payment is not that different.
That scenario right there, your monthly payment is about $100 less, but your purchase price is $650 instead of $530.
Correct.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
So I know like the average homes and everything in Sacramento County it's about 470,000. We'll just round up to about 500,000, right?
Right.
And that's your typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath home.
Right.
But if you needed something a little bit bigger,
right,
for your family, and you can't find anything in that scenario, you can technically go up now. Is that right?
Yeah, you can absolutely go up now. Guys, you can absolutely go up. So here's the thing. If somebody has 20% for 530, and I was like, well, Lisa, I don't have $130,000. Well, you don't have to do that. So let's just say you put 15% because it's closer to that number, right? Look at that. The difference is almost $115 more if you did that. That's it. That's the reason why the debt to income ratio may work for you. Okay. But again, this one is red flagging, which means you may have to do a little bit more or, okay, guys, or go down. Okay, 630. There we go. Okay, guys. And look at that. The difference is a little over $5.
Wow. A $5 difference, but it gives me $100,000 more in purchasing power.
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
Okay, where have you been all my life?
All right, guys. So I'm going to go back to the example of 500,000 again, because I really wanted you guys to see the true comparison. Okay, what if we did put that 20% down into this program, Lisa? How does that look like? Okay, so look, your monthly payment is about a little shy of $700 a month. How does that make a difference when you're going to sell your house? Guys, this is the difference. This is what I want you guys to really, really see, because your monthly difference is a little shy of 700. Your yearly difference is a little over 8,100. In those 5 years, the difference is 40, almost 41,000. Okay, so the net difference is this. This is the total difference. Okay, guys. Actually, let me make sure that these numbers are accurate for you guys. This one is actually off. So let me go back to the amortization. Okay, because your loan is less. Sorry, guys, I went too fast. So let's go back. The difference shouldn't be that different, because again, if you're putting your own 20% and you're utilizing this 20%, your regular loan is only 300,000. So the payoff is much, much less, which means if you look at this, guys, if you're saving, okay, almost $700 a month, and you're saving over 81,000 a year in those
8,100.
8,100. I'm sorry.
I would love to save
I know, right?
$81,000 a year,
I was like, I'm
but
fumbling today because I'm so excited. I've been talking about this all day. So the difference in years to sell, which is 5 years, okay, is almost 41,000, and the net difference between this and this, okay, is a little over 39,000, which means if you utilize this program, you actually net more. A little bit more. I mean, it's not a huge difference, guys.
Yeah.
It's not a huge difference, but you know that, hey, well, I don't know what curveball life is going to throw at me, so I'd like a smaller payment, because if worst case scenario and I'm renting it out and I have to rent it out or extra rooms, it pretty much almost covers my rent. And of course, this is average rent for today, but it's not, it's probably going to be much higher in the future, right, guys? Because when interest rates rise, it rises for landlords as well. So they are going to have to raise the rent in order to curb that. Okay.
So I guess next question for you. What are the pitfalls for this? And then pros and cons that you have it, right? And then also one last question too is like, what's the next step that if someone is interested in this program, what's their next step too?
So really, if you are going with a lender that has this program available and is certified to do this, I would say apply right away so you can get into the game. Okay, guys. And then from there, it's not an extra application. Any program that you're on, you don't have to have multiple applications for that. It's just one application, and your loan officer will advise you, okay, take a look at the pros and cons on this program versus that program, and then see which one benefits you financially for the short term as well as the long-term gain. Okay?
No, love that. Definitely go ahead and apply for that loan. That makes sense. And then I heard you mention this too. It's like kind of like a paid for portion, right?
Yes.
So how does that work again? And then why is it beneficial?
So it pays it forward because if you continue to pump money into this program, hopefully it will last longer. The other CalHFA programs have been very successful in that, even though the maximum they're doing is 6.5%, but it's able to gain traction back. How much back, we don't know just yet, guys. Okay, so I would say, because you don't know when it's going to end or if it's going to last, jump in. Wouldn't you? Yeah. I don't want anybody here to feel like, oh my gosh, I knew about this, or I didn't know about this, so I couldn't even utilize it when I wanted to.
Because that was going to be my next question, is really how long or how much funding do we have? And is it going to go for 6 months, a year, 2 years? We don't know. So guys, when I asked them yesterday, and I'll go through all the questions that I asked them so I can share that with you too. So it started out at 500 million that went into this program, but they're still talking about it. And from yesterday's conversation with them, they told me we're down to 300 million. I don't know if it's going to go back up or down. I did ask them about that. They don't know yet. Okay, guys? So we'll find out on the 27th. So here's a couple of other questions that I asked them. So can a parent be a non-occupant co-borrower? No. This program is specific, and this is a hard no for them. Okay, they're not going back and forth on it. They've already confirmed it. Parents
have to live there if they're going to be co-signing for you, or anybody for that matter that's going to be co-signing for you. So that's that. Okay.
So I can understand that correctly, right?
Mhm.
Is that whoever that's co-borrowing, parent, uncle, whoever it is, that do they have to be first-time home buyers
Yes.
as well and primary?
Yes.
So they have to live in the home and be a first-time home buyer.
Correct.
So what's considered a first-time home buyer?
Okay, so this is the cool part, guys. Okay, a lot of you guys, have had homes before, and then things happen and everything like that. It's okay if you have not owned a home in the last 3 years, if you haven't co-signed for anybody, if you're not on a home to your parents' house, things like that in the last 3 years, you still qualify as a first-time buyer. Okay, so come back.
Wow.
This might be that restart
Yeah.
that you need.
A question from one of our viewers asked is, what about refinancing? How would that play off?
So refinancing is this, guys. Okay, I call it, they don't call it that way. I call it a one chance refinance. So the rule is this, okay? After 12 months, after you've had this loan for 12 months, you get a one chance refinance where that second loan, okay, and the equity bill does not have to go into the refinance. So if the rates, let's say for instance, if the rates are at 6.875, and then after that year that's 6%, that's totally fine, okay? But the next month, if it goes down to 5%, the second time you do the refinance, they're going to ask for the second and the equity bill to be paid back. And at that time, even though the interest rate is lower, you're increasing your loan amount, and that might not make financial sense. Okay, so when that time comes, we'll show you that. And because it's a little bit more particular, and they haven't really wrapped around that rule completely just yet, then once it goes out, we'll send it up another PSA.
And then, what type of homes would qualify for it? Would like mobile homes, single-family homes, duplexes, new homes? Is there any specification on that?
So right now, okay, it is single-family residence only. Okay, right now, it's not 100% just yet, and it's manufactured homes.
Single-family and manufactured homes.
Correct.
Okay. So what if it's a brand new build?
Great question. So it's yes, but not 100% sure.
Okay.
So that was on the list of questions that I did ask them as well. And let me go ahead and go over those questions. And if you have different questions too,
Okay.
see, we'll do that. Okay. All right. So parents cannot, or anybody can't be a non-occupant co-borrower, and both people have to be first-time buyers. Okay. So what happens after 30 years if they never sell or refinance? What happens to that second loan and the third loan? They don't know. That's the hard answer. They don't know, right? You asked that already. So it's like, if the borrower opts out to use less than 20%, so it's up to 20%, but you don't have to use the full amount. So I asked them, well, if they're not going to use the 20% fully, is there going to be mortgage insurance? And they said they don't know. Okay. This makes a huge difference on monthly payment, guys. And it also makes a huge difference because now your credit score comes into play when it comes to how much mortgage insurance you're going to have to pay. Okay. So hopefully it's a no, but we'll see.
And typically, you're having to pay mortgage insurances because you're putting less than 20%.
Correct.
Down, right.
Correct. I mean, if there is mortgage insurance, I would advise you take the full 20%.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's the interest rate on the first and second loan going to be? Like I mentioned earlier, you guys, they earn no clue. That's what they said. The exact words, no clue. Okay. How much funds are allotted to this program? We talked about that earlier. It started out at 500 million. Now it's down to 300 million. They do not know if they're going to bring it back up or lessen that. Okay. So that's what they told me. And also the last question that I asked them was, can they pay off the second and the third early? Here's my investor hat on. Okay, if I already know that home prices are going to appreciate and I have to give 20% of that appreciation in a year from now, okay, where my house is appreciated by 15,000, I'd much rather pay the appreciation on that 15,000 than 10 years down the line when my house is worth, $250,000 more than what I bought it for. So these are the questions I asked. You can absolutely call them up yourself and verify. And I hope that we gave you really, really good insight. And if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. Please reach out to C. we're more than happy to help. And because home ownership is such a wonderful, wonderful blessing for us, we share this with you guys so that you know that you can absolutely do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And it takes a whole team and a
Yes.
village to make things happen. So definitely appreciate having this legendary lending with Lisa here live in studio. And again, if you have any questions off, please feel free to reach out to myself or Lisa. Her information will be at the bottom. And then again, we love to educate and entertain at the same time. So if you further need any questions, anything answers, feel free to reach out to us. And again, thank you so much for joining here with Live with See and Win and Lisa. So thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you later.